Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gwyneth. I am a Reiki master and a drugless practitioner. I love to work with energy healing, spiritual healing, all things healing, anything that's encouraging, manifestation, all that good stuff right there. And I just want to take a moment to thank all the people that sent me emails, comments, and that have been watching these videos and supporting my video channel. And I want to tell you, if you love my work or you're enjoying it in some kind of form or it's done something for you, take the time and click that like button. Share it with somebody else. Maybe somebody that you wouldn't think might not be interested or not know something about energy healing or something new for them. Go ahead and share this. Show a sister some love. Hit the like button, hit the share button if you're interested in it. And continue to send me those emails and comments and direct messages. I am so thankful for the new people that have watched the video and that we work together. I just think, I've seen, I don't know if you guys saw that, it looked like an orb just went across my face. But I appreciate each and every one of you for just watching the video, enjoying the video, sharing with me the things that are taking place in your life from us working together or even from just watching this video. I have heard awesome things. Okay, today I want to talk about the audacity to go against the norm. I have been just kind of journaling and writing little notes about this over the last week. The audacity to go against the norm, because I'm that person that goes against the norm. I don't like the 12-step program. I don't like it when people say, well, this is the only way you can do that, or you have to do this to get here, or to do this, because I know that's not true. And when people say stuff like that, and they pattern things like that, it causes limitations. And I do not want to put limits on my life. I want a steady, constant flow of abundance. I don't want to limit myself. I don't want to miss something because of somebody's rules. I really follow my internal guidance, my intuition. And I know that spirit is guiding me to do certain things or to say certain things or to move in a certain way. And when I feel those moments coming upon me, I really just flow in it. It has always been a good outcome when I follow that intuition versus not. And some of you have experienced that as well. You know when you feel that gut feeling. You know when you're feeling the flow to go this way or that way. And you followed and you've seen what could come from listening and following. And you've also seen what's come when you didn't follow that guidance, right? Some of you know what I'm talking about. I want to talk about, first let's define audacity. A willingness to take a bold step. The audacity. Who do we know in history, or maybe within our family and our community, that had the audacity to do something? What about the audacity and the boldness that Rosa Parks had on the bus? Neil Armstrong, the audacity to walk on the moon. Barack Obama, the first black president. That takes audacity. What about RuPaul? To build the empire with the shows and everything and just show up authentic as he is and be comfortable within his own skin. That caused a bunch of us to feel comfortable in our own skin and being who we are. What about Johnson, the computer scientist, the black computer scientist? That let her intellect and was able to work on the Space Center with this research and stuff at a time when it wasn't popular or accepted. She came into there boldly and showed the intellect and the ability that she had. Joan Rivers. It might have been somebody else, but to me, she was the first person that I witnessed on TV. I remember as a child seeing her on there telling people about the clothes they had for the award shows, or they showed up for this and that and everything. That was ridiculous. That dress was horrible and stuff. And it was a little negative, I admit. And it was funny as well, too. You need to learn how to laugh at some things But she was the first person to be bold like that, to go on there and say, I'm just going to tell you, you should have wore this. This would look horrible to get, horrible. And what came from that? Other shows were developed from people telling their truth and speaking their truth and speaking out. Like we have the Housewives, and we have so many reality shows and people just speaking their mind and saying what they really feel. Where before it was kind of a phoniness or a cover up about certain things. And I believe that Joan Rivers helped usher that openness in. Whether it's negative or positive, she brought change by following what she felt. This is what I want to do. I want to say this. How come, I can say this? Why not? Why not? Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad. All these people had the audacity to be bold, to step out, to color outside the lines. They didn't fit in a box. They didn't limit themselves. And I hope that today, by listening to this video, it would move something in you that would cause you to say, I'm not going to be in a box. I'm not going to be held to coloring in the lines. I'm going to do what I feel I need to do. This internal system is guiding me to do something. Let's talk about childbirth for a minute. When a woman has a child, when she's pregnant, she's going through that pregnancy process, there is a certain process that her body goes through. And when it's getting down to the end where it's time for her to have that baby, her body moves in a certain way. There are shifts and changes within her to prepare her to bring the child forth. A doctor is not doing that. A nurse is not doing that. A midwife is not doing that. Her body, her internal system is making these changes, and things are flowing in that kind of way. Now, sometimes we have complications, unfortunately, and things go in a different way, but allow that natural flow to happen before you come in with all these other things intervening and changing up the natural process of the body. When we keep making these changes, we're limiting ourselves, and we harm ourselves in so many ways that things don't come out properly, and they don't work out properly because we don't want to be on the natural system. What else did we change? The calendar system. I have a certain respect and honor for the Jewish community because they held to that original calendar. And it shows when the new moons come in, and they kept the original calendar and continue to follow it with the celebrations. But somebody decided that we need to change the calendars to reflect the seasons and the holidays and stuff. But that was the first calendar that we had, and it was for a reason. There was meaning to it. But we tossed that out because we want to do something new. And some people said, I'm not going to follow that. I'm going to continue to follow that calendar, that original calendar. And maybe they're receiving something from following that original system and calendar that connects with our internal system. Who knows? But the people who are following, they know. We can't always be so quick to get onto these systems of why are people pushing us this way and why are they pushing us that way? What do we think? What does our bodies think? What does our spirit think? What is our soul saying? What is the flow and the action of what is taking place? Where am I being led to? Am I paying attention to those things? When you're dealing with somebody one-on-one or maybe a group and they're saying something, and as soon as they start talking about this certain particular thing or event or whatever they're putting together, whatever, and it's just like this negative feeling that comes over you, or just like I don't want to be a part of that. You know that feeling. And then do you just continue to go on with it because you're like, okay, well, I'm already a part of this group, so I need to just go with the flow with what they're doing? Or do I follow my internal system that says, I don't want to be a part of this? Or when something strikes me, do I say, you know what, that's wrong, that doesn't feel right? We need to speak up. We need to speak on it. And not only do we need to speak on it, we need to walk in it. We need an action. When something like that comes up, we need to use that internal guidance, that gut feeling to go with. Have the audacity to go against the norm. Just because everybody is doing it doesn't mean it's right. Just because there's a big group or affiliation that's doing it doesn't mean that it's correct. Maybe it's not the path for you. Maybe it's not the direction for you. You make the decision about these things. You need to follow that internal guidance. The audacity of going against the norm. When I'm doing my healings and I'm working with spirit, I'm looking for spirit to guide me. That's my hierarchy. That's the internal system. If I'm doing spiritual healing, why am I worried about listening to a man or a woman or somebody else on the outside making these rules and stuff? I need to follow the guidance of spirit, how spirit is leading me. When they're telling me to say something to the client that I'm working with, when they're moving me to move in a certain way, when they create something through me or a movement through me, I go with it. Because I'm not trying to get, to make a man or a woman feel good. I'm not trying to be in their good nature or them to be happy with me, but I want to bring healing, spiritual healing. So if spiritual healing is brought from spirit, then I have to follow the guidance of spirit, right? Not man, not woman, not somebody else just creating something. I'm following that guidance of spirit. If they want me to speak, if they want me to, sometimes they have told me to turn off the music. I play like a comfortable, relaxing music, and they'll say, turn that off. And sometimes they'll say, put this on. And I just go with it. Move this way. Move your hands this way. Cause your body to flow this way. Send the energy this way. Whatever it is, touch this area. I want you to touch this area because this is where the healing needs to be. I go with it. I follow that internal system versus the rules and the regulations that are set forth. And I find when I do that, the best healings come forth. I allow myself to open up and let that healing come through me to flow to that person so they can receive their healing and be in the position to heal as well. And so that's an awesome thing and an awesome experience. So I'm asking you to go against the norm today. Step outside the box. Get rid of the pocket protector. Live a little bit. The audacity of going against the norm. This year, I don't know if you follow the Chinese zodiac. I don't know so much if I follow the Chinese zodiac, but I read a lot of different things and hear about, different things. It's how you get knowledge. And the Chinese zodiac says this is the year of the snake. Now, everybody who knows me knows I do not like snakes. I don't like snakes. I haven't liked snakes ever. I had somebody one time tell me, oh, I'll teach you how to get over your fear of snakes. I said, no, thanks. But I am learning because I had the question. I said, Spirit, God, what is a purpose of a snake? It doesn't seem like it has a purpose. What is the reason why we have snakes in this world? And what do they offer? And I didn't get a direct message back. But over the time, some information has come in. Because when I'm working with a person and doing healing, sometimes I have seen like a picture of the caduceus laying across their body. That's the staff with the two snakes. Okay? That you see sometimes in medical places. And that means that person has that gift of healing on them. Okay? So that's for me. That's a signal or a sign for me. And I also know that Native Americans will say sometimes about the snake medicine. Well, I'm not really well-rounded or know enough about that to discuss or teach you about that, but I've heard that, the snake medicine, okay? So this year when they said it's the year of the snake, I said, let me do a little research on that. And so one thing I know about the snake is that snakes shed their skin, okay? They shed their skin. And sometimes if we live out here in the desert or certain areas, you might notice that you see some snake skin on there. And people have used that snake skin for belts, purses, shoes, and this and that. I'm not here to say if it's right or wrong, okay? But we know they shed their skin. And so I want to research, why do they go through the shedding process? Why is it necessary? And what does it do? Okay? So I found out that when snakes shed their skin, it's because they need to grow, and that skin does not expand. So it doesn't allow them to grow. So they shed the skin when they're in a growth process, so they could make room and get this new skin to accommodate their larger size. And I said, well, right there, that was something awesome to me. They also said that the growth is part of they shed the skin to remove parasites and dirt. Okay? So all those things are wonderful things, and I thought about it in context of us as human beings. Oftentimes we need to shed a layer of skin. We need to shed the parasites and the removal of toxic things in our life. We need to shed certain people. We need to shed certain situations and different things, and we're in this growth spurt, and we are growing, and no longer do we fit in the same place, but we do not shed our skin. But metaphorically, we can shed some things. We can let go of some things. It's some things that I used to do, or some things I used to enjoy that I don't enjoy anymore. There's some places that I used to go that I don't enjoy going to anymore. There's a certain crowd of people that I used to belong to or be around that I don't want to be around anymore, because I am growing and I am shedding those old things and those old people and those old situations, because they don't fit anymore, because I am expanding my consciousness. I am expanding my spirit. I am expanding in many ways, and I don't want that toxic stuff anymore. I don't want that parasite relationship anymore. I don't want those things that I used to have before. So now I need to shed my skin like the snake, which is a clearing, which is a cleansing, to shed, to expand, so I could experience my new life. Isn't that an awesome thing? I think it's an awesome thing. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Maybe you'll tell me in the comments what you think about it. Putting ourselves in that place of the snake. This is the year of the snake. So you know what that tells me? This is the year to shed some things. This is the year to let go of some things that we've been holding on to. This is the year to let go of some rules and regulations and allow ourselves to have limitless movement. We're not putting our limits on what we can and can't do and accomplish and not accomplish, okay? It's time for us to move into this place, to let go of some of that dirt and the dead skin, to let go of some of the bacteria, okay? We need to let go of some of these things that have caused that. Maybe it's some people that you have had in your life and they're toxic. Every time you talk to them, you're toxic. You feel them when you come around. They're toxic in the way that they speak, in the way that they act. It's time to shed some things and say, I'm not okay with those things anymore. It's time to color outside the lines and say, hey, I'm not with that. I know you used to be with it. Well, I'm not with it anymore. It's time to take our stance and become. It's 2025. It's time for change. So I'm going to flow with that year, the Chinese zodiac, with the shedding of things myself. I'm going to shed things because I have expanded in my consciousness, expanded in my growth, expanded in my healing, expanded in my personal relationships, expanded in many different ways. Shedding and heal. That shedding was said, once you shed, it causes you to heal your wounds. How many of you have some wounds that need to be healed? Mentally, emotionally, healing. When in the process of the healing, when I'm doing my healing, there's a part where I'm clearing the area surrounding them. I'm clearing the area over them, over the aura. We want to clear and remove all these things that we're able to move at this time, that we want to move it out of the way. So we want the most authentic, pure healing to come through, and we need to shift these things. We need to remove these things. We just kind of clear this atmosphere. I mean, if you ever work with a healer and they kind of just going over here, just They're just going over your aura, sweeping this stuff away. Let me sweep all this stuff away. Let me open this aura up and let me come in and bring some light, some pureness. What is light? The light of God. Let's bring this healing in. I want to connect in with you to bring healing to these areas, but it has so much smug and nastiness and slimy stuff around it that we picked them up along the way. We can't hold on to those things. We need to clear those things out. And when we clear those things out, we cause ourselves to be grounded. We cause ourselves to be in the moment. We cause ourselves just to have our best life. Do you understand that? That's what I want to bring to you, the audacity to go against the norm. Maybe you always had a pattern that you followed. Maybe you followed what your mama and your daddy did. Maybe you followed what your grandma did. And your friends are on this path and you follow this path. And everybody is doing this, so you want to do this. Oh, this is the new fad, so they following that. I don't care about any of that stuff. Gwyneth does what Gwyneth wants to do. Gwyneth moves in a way that she is honoring herself of the things that she loves to do, the things that she's being guided to do. My mother used to say sometimes, she said, you know what, you always got to, I'm telling you to go left and you going right. I'm telling you to do this and you doing that. And I said, I don't mean to be, any disrespect, but I'm feeling that I need to go this way. I just feel sometimes that I need to move this way. I just feel like I hear what you're saying and I know why you said it, but I'm feeling this way. And she would get mad at me sometimes. Sometimes I got in trouble as a child, but as an adult, she learned how to embrace me, embracing the things in me. Because you know what? When I got to that point where I was following what was inside and the guidance and stuff, guess what? I became my authentic self. You need to be authentic to who you are. Nobody's telling me who I am. They can say things about me. Oh, you're this way. Gwyneth is like this and Gwyneth is like that. But when you know who you are at the core, anything else that anybody else says, it really doesn't matter. It's just on the outside. It's sidebar issues. It's commercials. Commercials can be funny. We can enjoy them and stuff, but they really don't have any substance of anything. When we're watching TV or a show, we want to watch that show. That's the meat. The commercial is an advertisement, is an opportunity for somebody else to display who they are, or display what they want to show you, or to invite a new idea in. That's what a commercial is. So that's why I use that a lot of times. I say, oh, I'm not interested in the commercial. I'm not going to let the commercial keep me from what I'm doing and the path that I'm on. But I'm being led. I want to be led by spirit. When I say spirit, some of you might be like, well, what is spirit? What is spirit? Or what is she saying is spirit? Is this new age stuff? Is this and that? You know what? People say all kinds of, new age stuff? Spirit? I don't think we should say spirit. You hear all these different things. Spirit to me is God, Jesus, the angels, the guides, our loved ones from the other side that are working with me and working with us. We came here with a plan predestined, and they have the plan, and they're helping us out with these things, that we would dare to ask for their help or to listen to the guidance, that rich guidance, that tugging, that moving and stuff like that. Now, spirit might mean something else to you, or to somebody else, but I'm telling you what it is for me. If I had listen to everything that everybody was saying and the way that they were pushing me to go, or say you can't do this, or this is wrong, or don't do that, it's not okay to feel that way, it's not okay to say things like that, it's not okay to exercise that, oh, that's evil and this and that and stuff like that. If I had listened to all those things, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I'm proud of who I am today. That I am that person that follows and listens to spirit when nobody else will, when it's not popular, when nobody else is saying amen, or you should do that, or I think it's good. Even when everybody is opposed, if I'm feeling it so strong within me, I go with it. And sometimes it makes people upset. I think it makes them upset for many reasons, that I'm free to do that, to make that choice, and the audacity that I have to do that. Some people, they're upset about it because they want to control. and they want me to get on their program. They want to control everything that I do. But I can't get on that when I'm feeling a certain way. Some things I may agree on. Some things I may want to follow and be a part of and be included in. But some things, I'm just saying, those times where you're feeling that gut feeling or that guidance, I need to do this. I don't need to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. You know, you have those different thoughts going through your mind, and it feels so strong, and you start feeling guided or swayed this way or that way. Maybe it's an event that you were going to, and now all of a sudden you feel this funny cold feeling, and it doesn't feel good, and it's like, I don't want to be there. And I listen to that. And it's for a reason. Maybe it's protection, spiritual protection. Maybe it's keeping me from a certain event, a certain person, or being affiliated in something. What do you guys think about that? Have you had those experiences where you feel the pulling of spirit, pulling of guidance, of that gut feeling, and you followed it versus when you didn't follow it? The audacity to go against the norm. You're doing something different. Going back into the Chinese medicine, I want to talk about, we have the caduceus, where they have the staff with the two snakes wrapped around it. And it's a medical sign. And then they also have, now I might mess up this word, let me say it, Asclepius, which was a staff with one snake around it, and that was Greek for the medical medicine, okay? The study of medicine, the healing, the Greek Asclepius was the sign, and I had the picture somewhere for you guys. That was the picture, and that was the sign for that the Greek used for healing, to represent healing. Now, I don't know if you guys could see this. It's a little dark. Let me see. Let me blow it up. Okay. See, there's one snake and the staff, and here on the other side, there's two snakes and one staff, and then you have the wings as well. But the caduceus is the one with the wings, and oftentimes there's been a mistake, and even with me, have made the mistake and say, well, that's the sign for the medical community, but it's not. It's not. It's actually the other one, Asclepius. That was the Greek. That was the Greek god in history that would use that staff, and it represented healing. The caduceus actually represents medicine, okay? Medicine woman, medicine man, maybe paramedics, maybe nurse, maybe doctor, whatever. And then on the paramedics, they have the star of life, and it has the rod with one snake around it, and then there's a 6-point star. All these things mean stuff. Now, that star of life in the medical community was about detection, the 6 points, detection, response, on the scene care, care in transit, definitive care, and reporting. Those are 6 points that the star of life, 6-pointed star that's on the paramedics represented. But it, once again, it had the staff with that one snake around it. So I'm like, I don't care for snakes, but it means something. It was a message of healing, okay? That sign. So with us being in the year of the snake, there are good things that those symbols can tell us, and that things that we can take from it and pull from it, if you so desire to do that. But I want to talk about that because a friend, me and a friend were discussing that other day, and she said the year of the snake, and that's kind of how I was when I first heard of it too. I was like, ugh. But then what is the good that comes from it? How many times, because something we hear, we don't like the way it sounds, or we've been told that it's wrong, so now we're getting on board and we feel it's wrong as well. But it represents something, and it's blocking us from the knowledge from before, from the Greeks, that they used that staff. We also know in the Bible Moses had a staff, and that staff turned into a snake when he set forth in the story. Okay? Those that are Bible readers and know the doctrine, when he put forth that staff, it turned into a snake, and then he picked it back up, and it was the staff again. So that snake has meaning in it. And I've given you something to chew on this morning about that snake, or afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. It's morning for me. The skin is shed from the snake because once the snake outgrows that skin, the skin must come off, and it's removing parasites and dirt. Okay? And it causes expansion to come and a new skin to come. So this year, let's expand. Let's expand and get that new skin. Let's remove those parasites and toxic behavior and people and habits from our life so we can expand and get our new skin so we can go into 2025 with that new coat. That new coat of skin, okay? I just want to encourage you guys to go beyond the norm. Do not allow yourself to be blocked, and do not allow others to put limits on your life, in your healing, in your life, in your manifestation. Sometimes when you're talking about manifestation, people are looking at you like you got 3 heads. They say, oh, that sounds so silly. You know, that doesn't even make any sense. Who would do that? Who follows this type of stuff? Who talks like that? Who does stuff like that? I do stuff like that, and guess what? It has brought wonderful results. Have I manifested everything that I desire? Of course not. But I'm still working on it. It's still a work in process, but I have manifested many things, and I continue to go on. Do not worry about the naysayers that say, oh, well, let's see, you manifested and stuff like that. You keep watching me. It's coming. You do these activities. Why would you do those affirmations? That's silly. How could that bring something? Why don't you stop doubting it or talking about it or being negative towards it? But if you want to see if it works, why don't you do it? Why don't you put in the work and see if it comes? If nothing comes from it, if it doesn't bring any change for you, if it doesn't pick you up, if it doesn't light you up, if it doesn't inspire you, then don't do it. But this is what I do. Why are you trying to rain on my parade? Why are you trying to put my light out, which is pretty hard to put Gwyneth's light out? Some people have tried, but I'll bounce right back because I'm resilient. Spirit made me resilient, okay? And people want to block us from doing certain things that make them feel uncomfortable. Why are you doing that? I tell you one thing that I do that's a gift from God, and I'm thankful for it, to be able to talk to Spirit on the other side, our loved ones from the other side. That's been coming to me naturally since I was a child. And it's very welcoming and warming when my loved ones are around me and guiding me and talking to me. I didn't know how to handle it before. I thought it was wrong because of what other people were saying. But I wasn't seeking anything. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't digging in something that I shouldn't have been in, or trying to, and you know I hate the word trying, but that's what, trying to create or make something happen. But it was happening to me. It was coming to me. I was feeling their presence and their love. I was feeling them coming around me. I was hearing them saying stuff to me. I was spending time with them into a place. And so for somebody to say, well, that's wrong. That's not natural. That's evil. We shouldn't do that. Mediums are evil. You shouldn't have that. You don't speak to people on the other side. But they'll say, and some of those people are people that are Bible scholars. When you go back and you point, you say, what about the Mount of Transfiguration? When Jesus went to the Mount of Transfiguration, he only picked out a certain amount of people, and he took them with him. And he was talking about the meat and the baby bottle and the suckling. You know, some people aren't ready for the meat, so they're still sucking milk. They're still eating and getting their nourishment from milk. And he took them in the boat, and they went to the other side. And I'm paraphrasing and going kind of quick through this. But they went to this mountain. It was called Mount of Transfiguration. Listen to that. Transfiguration. Look up what transfiguration is. They went over there, and they were able to see their brothers that had passed from on the other side. And they were talking to them, and they were giving them knowledge, and they were able to see and hear them. Well, what do you think that is? Mediumship. Sorry, that's what it is. It was mediumship, and Jesus was there. Okay, when Jesus came back after he had been crucified, he was on the ground and had doubting Thomas, and he had the where the nails had been, and Thomas wanted to put his fingers in the hole, and he let him put them in there because he couldn't believe. He had to see it and feel it and discover it like that. Okay, he was a spirit. And it was a time he says, don't touch me yet, because at one point he said, don't touch me yet, because he hadn't fully acclimated into himself. But he was a spirit because they witnessed and they saw him die on the cross. They saw him carry him away and put him in a tube. So he was a spirit. And if you don't know that Jesus is a spirit and he's alive and well in this world right now, that's your own, up to your own belief system. But those that already believe that way, and then they say, well, that's wrong. Well, when I speak to Jesus and I'm praying, I'm talking to a spirit that's on the other side. That sounds like mediumship. Sounds like mediumship to me. Not doing anything evil. We're not talking about any curses or spells or nothing like that. I'm not with any of that kind of stuff. But I'm talking about being able to connect with our loved ones and other people's loved ones from the other side. It could be a beautiful thing, and it's healing too, because the messages and the things they share, sometimes when they leave, things are not resolved, and we're able to resolve those things when we're able to commune and talk to them, and they're able to express to us what they were feeling and what they went through, and it brings a release and a comfort in us so we can be comfortable until we meet with them again. And that's a beautiful thing, and I'm not going to let anybody tell me it's not. Because I'm comfortable coloring outside the lines. I'm comfortable being outside the box. You understand? But some people are not. What is your gift? What is your calling? What is it that you're allowing this world to tell you you cannot do and you cannot be a part of? What is it? Stand strong in who you are. Have a backbone about something. Tell, hey, I know you don't understand it, but this is what I do. I'm not embarrassed to share who I am and what I am and how I am with people. I'm comfortable being me. I'm glad I don't have to hide behind things like that. I'm glad I don't have to be fearful about expressing myself fully. I'm going to show up as Gwyneth all the time. I'm going to follow my heart and my intuition to my last breath, because that's what I'm comfortable doing. I love that, and it's such a strength, and it's such a loving thing. And I hope that more of you that are in this place where you're allowing fear to activate you and control you, that you will get beyond that, because we know what fear is. False evidence appearing as real, right? We've defined that. You've heard that before. I don't want to operate in fear. I don't want to walk in fear. I don't want to have limitations. You know, some of the beliefs that we grew up, the things we grew up believing, and sometimes our parents and our grandparents and people in the neighborhood and our teachers, even our teachers, you know, have said certain things with us that cause us to have limiting beliefs. It's time to shed that. 2025, let's use this year of the snake, whether you with the Chinese zoo, if you up, and you with the Chinese zodiac. If you're not with the Chinese zodiac, let's use that example of that snake to be able to shed some of this stuff. I'm going to shed this dead skin. I'm going to shed this stuff that's been holding me back from growing and keeping me small. I'm going to go into expansion. I'm going to expand my business. I'm going to expand my thoughts. I'm going to expand my manifestation. I'm going to expand my ability to capacity to connect with people in a relationship. I'm going to expand my relationship. I'm going to expand my marriage. I'm going to expand my friendships. I'm going to expand my knowledge. What is it that you need to expand? What is it that this skin is keeping you from doing? It's keeping you playing small when you need to expand and become something more larger and bigger, where you have the dream and the vision, but the fear has kept you from expanding. I want to encourage you today. We're still early in this year. As long as we have breath in our lungs and we wake up to see a new day, guess what? We can make changes. We can make changes that are effective. Let's get started. Let's get going. Let's get moving. Let's commit to something. and keep on doing it. If you fall off and you mess up, you say, hey, I didn't do what I was supposed to this week. I didn't do what I was supposed to today. I had intention on doing this and it didn't get done. Guess what? It's a new day. Get back on it. Don't stop. Don't let one day or one mess up stop you. Don't let one turn or wrong decision. I didn't follow my guidance and now this happened. Okay, let's shake that off. Let's shake that off and get moving, okay? Shake it off. Old school people that were church going people, they know about that shake, where they used to tell them shake, shake, shake the devil off. Shake those negative things off. Shake those negative mindset off. Let go and just flow with spirit. Find out who you are. And you know how you find out who you are, what kind of healer you are, what kind of business person you are, what kind of friend you are, what kind of wife or husband you are, and when you are true to yourself, when you are following the truth inside, what you're feeling guided to do. Because just like how a mother has a natural process in coming forth with that pregnancy and bringing that child, we were all brought here with a purpose. And as there's a certain purpose coming out in us, and as our guides and the angels come in, and as God comes in and ushers us and guides us, that internal part of us that science can't even understand, that's guiding us. When we follow that, we show up where we're supposed to be. We create what we're supposed to create. We connect with the people that we're supposed to connect with. And others are waiting for us to get it together because maybe their mission and their project is part of us. And when we're not doing what we're supposed to do, and when we're not following our guidance, guess what? We don't get to connect in with them, and we do not develop or finish or complete our assignment, or we make it longer, or it takes longer. You understand? Open yourself up and be free to accept who you are. Find out who you are. When I'm teaching healing and doing attunements for people and stuff, I say I'm going to teach you some basic things, and I'm going to teach you some kind of little techniques and stuff I use. But my desire and my intention for this class and for this teaching is that you find out who you are as the healer, who you are as the gift, who you are in helping others, who you are as you evolve. That's what I want to help you. Connect in so you're hearing your guidance. Connect in so you know how spirit deals with you. Maybe you hear, maybe you see, maybe you feel, maybe you just have this notion that comes to you, just a knowing, the gift of knowing. Whatever it is, connect with that natural process to find out who you are, to break free from the limits. No longer limit yourself. That's what I want to encourage you today. I want to encourage you that it's okay to color outside the lines and it still can make a pretty picture. I want you to come outside the box and know there's more to expand, that if you don't fit in the box, it's fine. You can get a new skin this year. It's the year of the snake. You can shed that skin and get a new skin. Get a new suit that looks better than the suit that you've been wearing, that addresses you, that accommodates that new growth in you, that growth in your mind, in your spirit, in your body, that new health, that new thing. I'm letting way of all the bacteria and the parasites that I needed to let go of. I'm releasing all those things that held me back and held me down to walk into the newness, the audacity to go against the norm. Please like and share this video if it meant something to you, if I'm speaking to you, if it's helping you to expound and to grow, to be free, to find out who you are, to listen to that natural internal system more. Please let me know, because your stories inspire me even more and they bless my soul. And that's what I want to be, a blessing. I always want to work in the spirit of excellence, because that is where spirit is leading and guiding. That's where we're shining, where we're that white light. I am light. That's what I turned my business name to. I am light. I am light. L-Y-T-E. I am the light of God. I am channeling the light of God through me. I am letting the healing come through my words and through my actions and through my bodies and through my body and spirit to be able to bring something and to share something with this world. And I am so thankful for that. for all the other mentors and those that shine their white light daily, and that beautiful light to share and bring something back to us, to give to us, to educate us, to help us to grow, to be positive, and to just esteem one another, and to love each other, and to practice unconditional love. We need to be in the place that we are practicing unconditional love like never before, so we can bring things together in this world, because that's the problem. A lot of the problem why we're having distinction, why we're going against each other, unconditional love is not being practiced. Forgiveness is not being practiced. And we need to get back to these natural things that we know. So I'm going to end this video. I'll see you next time. Please like and share the video. Send me emails if you want to work with me, if you want to be attuned, you want to become a Reiki practitioner, if you want me to teach you spiritual healing, if you want me to make you a chi ball, get in contact with me. I'm ready to do it. And I would love to work with you. I would love to hear what you have to say and to answer questions. Until next time, bless you. Namaste.